Ladies and gentlemen, Kurzgesagt, and this is how the immune system actually works. Immune by the channel Kurzgesagt in a nutshell. Yes, new Kurzgesagt video, and it's about immune system. Well, I'm gonna love this video because my science knowledge is not towards biology. I don't know much of anything when it comes to biology. Obviously, I've seen lots of immune system videos from this channel, so I know somewhat, right? But not as much as I would like physics and astrophysics. I like that areas more. So I have good enough knowledge in that areas, but not biology. So there's going to be something new to learn. So it's going to be fun. The human immune system is the most complex biological system we know. Yeah, that is true, isn't it? It's damn complex. It's surprisingly complex. After the human brain, and yet most of us never learn how it works or what it is. Your immune system consists of hundreds of tiny and two large organs. One of them is spleen, right? Yeah. It has its own transport network spread throughout your body. Every day it makes hundreds of billions of fresh cells. It is not some sort of abstract entity. Your immune system is you. Yeah, I mean, we are made of, cells basically. We are complex structure made out of cells. The immune system is us basically. Your biology protecting you from the billion of microorganisms that want to consume you and from your own perverted cells that turn into cancer. Oh yeah. I didn't know that before I watched the Kurzgesagt video, that our own cell that basically doesn't kill itself but now wants to survive becomes the cancer cell. It's so manifold that it is impossible to cover in one video, so we'll make a series looking at different aspects of it. Yeah, I love this channel because he basically picks a topic, right, explains it, and if he likes that topic a lot, he frequently touches that topic, because this channel is just science channel, not one particular science area. It talks about immune system, it talks about different things like even zoology, how ants work and everything like that. Obviously astrophysics, astronomy, normal physics, your basic physics, every sector this channel touches. So there are so many topics that he could make. But if he likes certain topic, he keeps to it, right? Because he made so many black hole videos in past year, because he liked the topic, like, okay, I want to expand on the same thing with the immune system. Even lots of immune system video, and he is still making that because he liked this topic. And he thinks this is the best time to talk about it. So let's watch this one. Remember, if you like my reaction, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the reaction. There's a link in the description. Check out the Khas playlist. I've written quite a few Kurzgesagt video already. If you haven't seen them, check out the playlist. All Kurzgesagt reaction is there. Check out the playlist too, like Oversimplified, Holy Sagashi Production, CGP Grey, Internet Historian. And yeah, let's watch it.
The human immune system is the most complex biological system we know after the human brain, and yet most of us never learn how it works or what it is. Your immune...
How it works. We don't even come close to understanding what it is. We don't even know the area, how it works, right? We just know there's an immune system, it just works.
System consists of hundreds of tiny and two large organs.
There you go,
It has its own transport network spread throughout your body. Every day, it makes hundreds of billions of fresh cells organized like an army, with soldiers, captains, intelligence officers, heavy weapons, and crazy suicide bombers. It's not some sort of abstract entity. Your immune system is you. Your biology protecting you from the billions of microorganisms that want to consume you and from your own perverted cells that turn into cancer. It's so manifold that it's impossible.
Yeah, this is why anytime anybody says that Earth is the best place for humans, this was made for us, and this is where only place where we can survive. I'm like, dude, if you know any basic biology, you would know that that's not the case. Everything is trying to kill us all the time. Our immune system is so good that we are surviving, otherwise we wouldn't have survived.
To cover in one video, so we'll make a series looking at different aspects of it. Today, what happens when your body is invaded and your first lines of defenses are engaged in a fight for life and death? It's been a normal day when suddenly the world explodes and an asteroid rips the sky open. Countless alien life forms invade, ready to destroy cities and infrastructure and eat civilians. Or this is what your cells experience.
Oh, that was so good.
You look at your bleeding thumb that you just cut on a dirty twig in the park. How annoying. But inside the wound, a horrible
Every time there's a cut, people basically put that in their mouth and whatever, just press it to stop the bleeding, and there you go, job's done. I guess that's the only issue there was. We had no idea. Oh, wait a minute, tons of basically germs just went inside it, and now our immune system is fighting a battle inside.
catastrophe has happened. There are dead cells and blood and dirt everywhere. Even worse, countless bacteria invade the warm caverns between your helpless cells to explore their new home, steal your resources, and poop everywhere. Immediately, the first stage of your defense kicks in. The cells that survived the impact or are hurt or dying scream in panic, releasing an onslaught of chemical alarm signals that awaken your immune system. The first cells to show up are macrophages.
Yeah.
If an average cell were the size of a human, a macrophage would be the size of a black rhino. A stoic cell in principle, but you wouldn't want to annoy it. Bacteria do annoy them.
Ooh, that was so good, man. Put it in perspective like that, that was so good, because we wouldn't think like this, right? If you just explain to us what macrophages, how it works, it's just a small cell. But in the world of cells, basically it's like he explained it, it's like a rhino compared to us. So it's a big cell. It's like Drax from Guardian of the Galaxy, right? It's a big ass cell that gets attacked, basically first line of defense.
Within seconds, the large cells attack and begin killing them without mercy. They stretch out parts like the arms of an octopus and grab the bacteria to swallow them whole and digest them alive. A macrophage can eat 100 bacteria before it's exhausted. But there are too many enemies, so the macrophages call for reinforcements. In your blood, hundreds of thousands of neutrophils pick up their signals and move to the battlefield. Neutrophils are intense suicide warriors that only live to kill. They're so enthusiastic about killing that they kill themselves a few days after birth, so they don't have time to accidentally destroy your body from the inside.
Damn.
As soon as neutrophils arrive, they begin vomiting deadly chemicals at bacteria or devour them. They are so careless in their attacks that they are causing real damage to your own cells, but collateral damage is not their concern now. Or ever. Some neutrophils,
I guess these are the cells who basically, causes problem in lungs, right? Damages the lungs when it's trying to attack all the viruses and germs. That's the biggest issue with, what we had last year, and, Spanish flu and things like that, which the flus that attack lungs, which is most of them, I guess. And doing so, basically our own, this kind of cells attack it and also attack our cells because, there's no time to differentiate. They are in the attack mode. So the collateral damage basically weakens our lungs and we need oxygen after that. Oxygen tanks and things.
go so far to push their suicide button and explode, casting wide and toxic nets made from their own DNA filled with deadly chemicals that trap and kill bacteria. Sometimes they can continue fighting after that, even though they're sort of dead already. This is how much fun they have killing. While the battle rages, your blood vessels let fluid stream into the battlefield like a dam opening up towards a valley. You notice this as inflammation. Yeah. Your thumb swells up a little and gets red and warm. The fluid brings a silent killer into the battle zone, millions of complement proteins. A sort of automated liquid weapon that stuns and kills bacteria by ripping holes into them. We made a whole video explaining them in detail. We're reaching a crossroad now. If things go well, your first line of defense kills the invaders quickly. But sometimes, the enemies are too strong and would overwhelm your defenses eventually, which means certain death for you, the human. This is the hour of the dendritic cell.
Dendritic cell, there you go. I was going to say, there is he talked about in one of the previous videos, there's a cell who's basically intelligent in a way, who assesses things and, basically you're, captain of the team or something who tells other to what to a dendritic cell.
Intelligence officer. While your soldiers were bashing in heads, it was collecting samples by ripping bacteria into tiny parts and covering itself in it. Like a soldier decorating itself in the guts of a dead enemy. The cell leaves the battlefield and enters the superhighway of your immune system that connects all your tissues with your immune headquarters, your lymph nodes. The dendritic cell coming from the battlefield is looking for a helper T cell, which is a sort of all-purpose commander cell within your immune army. But not any helper T cell, one that happens to have just the right weapon for the bacteria that infected your wound. So it goes around and rubs itself, still covered in bacteria parts, against every...
I love this, how complicated our system is, man, our immune system. Even, T cells, there are different T cells, and basically dendritic cells finds a specific one that it wants. It's like commander running through, oh no, we need a missile launcher, where are our heavy gunners at? He's behind some kind of a barricade, guns are not going to work.
Helper T cell it meets. Most T cells are a bit disgusted and not interested, but after a few hours, something clicks. A helper T cell recognizes the bacteria parts. This cell is the weapon that's needed right now. The dendritic cell is overjoyed and activates the helper T cell. Okay, wait. How come your immune system has a cell that has a weapon against the specific bacteria that infected you? Well, your immune system has
Evolution?
a perfect weapon against every possible disease in the universe, against the Black Death, the coronavirus, or an infection that will emerge in 100 years on Mars.
Yeah.
We'll talk about this a bit more in the next video because it's very complex.
Only thing I can think of is that evolution, our ancestors and ancestor all the way to, single cell life, basically evolved all this time and basically got attacked by all the possible bacteria and viruses. So it kind of remembers what kind of bacteria and viruses are out there. So our immune system, when it formed, basically, created all these different type of T cells that would attack it. That's the only thing I can think of. But how would it know how to attack a Mars virus that it never encountered? Which means, T cells basically get created based on how, our entire biology and how every cells are. Like it just knows that every type of virus there can be. Let's just make a T cell for that. It could be that, but that would be so fucking good if that's the case. This is why every time, we take vaccines or any kind of a drug, it basically to ease things up. In the end, our immune system is the one who's doing the fighting, right? Every time people take, basically over-the-counter medicines, people think that this medicine is the one who's fighting all the, virus and bacteria. No, it makes our immune system, ease up our body, right? So our body doesn't get damaged itself, like too much fever, so we get damaged because of that, things like that. That's it. Otherwise, in the end, it's immune system who's fighting everything. Even with the vaccine just makes our immune system trigger pretty early. So it doesn't go with the phase of, oh, which virus it is? Oh, is that the virus? Let's figure out. Let's talk about it. It doesn't go through that phase. That's what all vaccine is. In the end, our immune system is the one who's fighting.
So for now, just know that you have billions of unique helper T cells that each have weapons against every possible enemy. After the right T cell is activated, your second line of defense awakes and rises like a teenager that needs to get up on a school day, very slowly. Your heavy weapons are incredibly effective, but they're not fast. The activated helper T cell begins to clone itself over...
He's like a veteran badass soldier who's just getting ready, just standing up, taking a shower, wearing his armor. I'm coming, then takes his, badass sword and slowly marches to the battlefield.
And over again. One becomes two, two become four, until there are thousands of them. Now they split into two groups. The first group quickly moves to help out your soldiers. At the battlefield, things are getting out of hand. A tired macrophage is ready to give up. After fighting for days, it just wants to go to sleep, like many of its buddies have done already. But now the helper T cells arrive. One of them comes to the tired macrophage and whispers something using special chemical signals. In a heartbeat, the demoralized soldier feels fresh again.
Okay. These macrophages are like, oh, there are too many. We can't fight them. All hope is lost. T cell just marches in with the, badass music. Wake up, soldier. War is still going on. Reinforcement here.
But there's something else. A hot, white anger. The macrophage knows what it needs to do. Kill.
It's now or never.
It throws itself against the enemies once again. All over the battlefield, this begins to happen. Meanwhile, the second group of helper T cells was working on activating another line of defense, B cells, your antibody factories. Antibodies are protein superweapons that look like tiny crabs with two pincers to grab enemies. Just like the helper T cells, there are B cells in your body that are able to make just the right antibodies for every possible enemy. And the helper T cell is looking for exactly these B cells. After a day or two, the right B cell is found.
Yeah, I guess infantry is there in form of T cells attacking macrophages and T cells. Now I guess the bombers are gonna come.
And begins to
just
clone
with the right
itself.
bombs.
As soon as enough clones have been made, each B cell begins pumping out up to 2,000 antibodies per second.
Yeah, all these
About
antibody
a week after you
bombs.
injured yourself and bacteria invaded, your second line of defense finally arrives in full force. The tiny army begins to saturate the battlefield, pinching and stunning desperate bacteria. The antibodies clump them together and make them unable to move or fight, while your soldiers massacre the defenseless victims. The tide is turning fast. As the last enemies are cleaned up, your soldiers realize they are no longer needed and begin to kill themselves to save resources. But not all of them. A few helper T cells remain and turn into memory cells. They will guard the tissue for years, making sure the same bacteria will never again gain a foothold here. Similarly, a few B cells will stay alive and keep producing a low amount of antibodies, making you immune against this bacteria, maybe for the rest of your life. One day you wake up and notice that the wound has grown over and left nothing but a faint red mark. You were completely unaware of the drama your cells had to deal with. For you, the whole ordeal was a slight annoyance, while for millions of cells, it was a desperate fight for life and death.
Endgame was we're like, oh, it's just a cut. Oh well. And there's an endgame. Avengers endgame happening inside.
But this is just the beginning of the epic story that unfolds inside you every day and is told in full in Immune, a journey into the mysterious system that keeps you alive, written by Philipp Detmer, the founder and head writer of Kurzgesagt. The book is a beautifully illustrated deep dive into the immune system, the most important thing you don't know enough about that will forever change how you think about your
Oh, wait a minute. So this is the main guy who writes all these things, is it? And the narrator is this narrator? Damn, Kurzgesagt is a big team. I didn't realize that.
body. Written to be as simple and fun as possible, it's been an ongoing passion project for almost a decade because the immune system is just about the most amazing and fascinating topic there is.
Seriously.
So go on a journey and get to know your own body, from mystery organs, murder universities, to the largest library in the universe. Explore how incredibly vast your immune system is and how it actually works, how it fights enemies from cancer to HIV or just the flu. Learn how you can boost it and if that's actually a good idea. The book will be out in 6 weeks and it would mean the world to us and Philip if you could pre-order it. Pre-ordering is super important in the world of books.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm gonna buy that book because this is fucking awesome and Kurzgesagt made it. How great can it be? It's gonna be just perfect with all these graphics and everything. So yeah. Pre-order Immune by going to the kgs.link/immune book or go to the description with the original video page. From there order it because I'm gonna order it. It's gonna be awesome. Damn, immune system is just fascinating, right? I mean, we create a telescope and uncover a massive world of, astrophysics and, astronomy and everything, black holes and shit. And we also create an opposite of that and, just created microscope to see all the, vast world of germs and, small cells, immune system and everything. Just, creating two things, telescope, microscope, we just uncover a massive world. I love it. Immune system, it was great. Alright people, if you like my next, don't forget to subscribe, check out the Rick's Sunday, there's a link in the description. Check out the cards for playlist, link cards, and I'll see you next time.